Welcome back to Shidduch Talk. This week we're going to be discussing a continuation of our Barsheret series. We're going to be discussing the idea of Hishtadlus. Again, the Shidduch Talk is, we have a YouTube channel now. It's called Shidduch Talk, and it's on WhatsApp group. You could get added onto it. And again, the email address for comments is shidduchtalk@gmail. Shidduch is with 1D. So today we're going to discuss again the idea of Hishtadlus by Shidduchim, but I would like to start off with something very interesting that I saw. You know, some people get engaged young and some people get engaged older, and when it comes to like Basher, everyone has a question why some people get engaged right away and some people don't get engaged right away, even if they look, you know, like the same product and they have the same everything. For some reason, there's a time difference. So I saw one of the rabbis, he says that Tosfos in Erechin says that when Klal Yisrael came out of the Yam, so it wasn't a straight line. It was around half a circle. So he says, Tosfos says that the Klal Yisrael, they had to go around half a circle, and all 12 Shvatim, each one had their own path to go through the Yam Suf. So when the Gemara says in Saita that Koshin Kakriyas Yamsuf, this big rabbi, I forgot who it was, said that just like when it's a half a circle, when they went when they went through the Yamsuf, so some Shvatim took much longer than the others because it's not even. He says so too when it comes to Shidduchim, a part of the Bashert is some people take long and some people take short, just like Kriyas Yamsuf. Now, today's topic, I'm going to pick one small point, and I'm going to try to tie it in a little to Tu B'Av that's coming up, and that's like a big Shidduch day. So, so there's pretty much an opinion or a shita that I've heard from many people, and I know where it comes from, and I think there's a very big misunderstanding, and we would like to discuss it. So, there's a lot of bitachon talk, that there's, when it comes to Shidduchim, you could just have bitachon, you don't have to do any Hishtadlus. And, I'm not a Rav, I'm just going to tell you how I see it. So there's a Medrash, Rabbah, that says, brings down a pasuk in Tehillim. The pasuk says, Achevel b'nei Adam kazav, the vanity of people are not true. B'nei ish b'maznayim, people with a scale, la'lois mehevel yachad. Okay, that's what the Medrash says. So the Medrash says, b'noyeg sheba olam, ma habrius oimrim. In the normal world, people say ish plini noisa plinis. This man marries this lady. Ulapach, it says achavel adam kazav b'nei ish. That also, when it comes to Isha Le'ish, it's Hevel. Now, the Medrash is very cryptic, it doesn't explain itself. So the Pirush on the side says like this. Okay? It says, what? Be'inyan hain Hevel v'hadavar loman musayfai. Hevel hainu be'inyan hazivug bezeh Maskimen b'nei Adam lefi sichlam hu hevel v'chazav. That when the pasuk is talking about hevel, it means that when people discuss b'sichlam through their intellect, that this idea is good for this person, or this person is a good idea for this person, hu hevel v'chazav. It's all hevel, it's empty, v'chazav, and it's not true. Why? This is the words of the Pirush on the Medrash. Again, ki kol hazivugim al pi gzeira el yoina me'ei sitzira asam, which is nigma adayin binyan gufon bebeten iman. That the Pirush says that when people discuss, is this a shidduch, is this not a shidduch, that's all hevel, it's emptiness, and it's kazav and it's not true. Why? Because all shidduchim Hashem makes, even before the actual embryo is developed, and therefore whatever we say is kazav. All the shadchanim, this idea is that a good idea? It's all hevel, it's a waste. And then muznayim, what does the muznayim mean? The end of the pasuk. Sha'ol v'shak muznayim v'kel deris echel zav. That Hashem has a scale, and only Hashem knows how shidduchim really work. Okay, so this is really a big knockout to all shadchanim. That all our ideas and all our intellect, is this a good shidduch? Is all hevel v'chazav. That's the words of the Medrash. Okay, on that pasuk. Okay, now, does that mean that we shouldn't try to think of ideas? Of course not. It just means that you think you're smart and you're analyzing it. You should know that all shidduchim come from Hashem and all your opinions are really a joke. Now, of course, you're supposed to still read shidduchim and you're supposed to think of ideas. Now, the shita which I've heard from people, they're really coming from a goyin, and the goyin's going on a different pasuk. The pasuk says, it's a pasuk in Telem, it says, Im Hashem li yivne bayis, shav amdu boine boy, Im Hashem li yishmar ir, shav shokat shomer. Okay? So so the pasuk says, if Hashem wouldn't build a house, that all the building is a waste, Shav, it's shav, similar to Hevel. The guy learns that it's not going on a house, it's going on a shidduch, a bias. So the guy says that all the amelus that's put in shidduchim is l'shav, is really a waste. Okay? Again, it says, if Hashem wouldn't build a house, that all the work is a waste. And if Hashem wouldn't watch the city, then all the shomer, the watchman, is also a waste. So the Goyim's learning that because Hashem is the one that creates the house, which means He's the one that thinks of the shidduch, therefore all the amelus is l'shav. That means all your work that you're putting into shidduchim is a waste of time. Okay, now this Goyim is an extremely important guy, but I think it's taken totally out of context. The guy is going back. He's not telling you that what you will do is l'shav. He's saying that since Hashem creates the shidduch, therefore all your analytic and all your deciding if shidduch is a good idea is l'shav. To me, the guy is exactly like the Medrash. It's exactly like the Medrash. That he's not telling you not to put time into shidduchim. He's just saying, by the way, all your effort and all your ideas is really a waste of time because anyways Hashem makes the shidduch. Now, so people took this, that the Goyin holds, that there's no such thing as shidduchim. Now, if you look at Mavakshe Torah, on Nesuin, I think it's the second volume of Mavakshe Torah, they have it now, all of them in one big one. He goes through that they asked a bunch of Gedolim what to do with this Goyin. That means, do you take this Goyin that there's no Hishtadlus, which means you should not do Hishtadlus, or it just means that all your analytics is a waste of time. So I saw, they bring down from Shlomo Zalman, Zatzal, Shlomo Zalman Auerbach, and he says that it means that it's less than, the Goyin just means that there's a Hishtadlus with a lot of things. There's Parnasa, there's health, there's Chinuch. Shidduchim is less. Okay? Now, he doesn't really say why. Lefi the Goyin, it's not because of B'tachin, it's because Hashem made the Shidduch. So how do I know that the Goyin does not mean that there's no Chiv Hishtadlus? Okay, so to me, it doesn't start because we're going to try to show where there's a very big mix-up. When it comes to get married, a man is mechuyev to get married. Okay? A man is mechuyev to get married. He has a mitzvah pruvu like any other mitzvah. Okay? So if someone's going to tell you, if you have enough betachin, sukkahs is tzeildim and nusa, that you're such a believer, you don't have to build a sukkah, so you don't know what you're talking about. So there's a chiv to get married. Okay? Up to chaimish, there's the Ran, they bring down a Ran, which no one knows exactly where it is, but the Ran says, Kaifin acha teitze nishmasai. If a guy says, if a Baruch comes to Bezdin and says, I don't want to get married, so the Mechaber in Siman Aleph says Kaifin, that you force him to get married. And the Ramah says that today we don't force. It's a big shaila, it's a marik, it's a shaila how to learn the Ramah, why taka we don't force. But to say that there's no chiv to do Hishtadlus, I don't want to say it's kfira, I think it's just narish. Now the Gemara says that you have to do Hishtadlus, you have to have a nadin, and the Gemara says on the pasuk, al zois yispal kol chassid me'es mitzoi is going on Shidduchim, you have to daven for Shidduchim, you have to do nadin. Avram sent Eliezer and he sent the mashtar with giving all the nadin to try to equip him that people should jump to marry Yitzchak. So to say that a blanket statement that there's no Hishtadlus in Shidduchim is ludicrous. Okay, the Goyen does not say that. The Goyen is saying similar to the Medrash that because Hashem is the one that creates the Shidduch and we don't know Hashem's cheshbonos, therefore all your effort you're putting in is really a waste. Okay, again, you have a chiv to get married, and there's a chiv Hishtadlus to get married, and there's a mitzvah to get married, and again, l'fi the mechaber, it's kaifin. You force a guy to get married. Now, this idea of no Hishtadlus, I've heard it from two angles. One of them is that there's no Hishtadlus because you have to have betachim, which again does not make any sense, because anything that comes to mitzvah, you can't just say, I'm going to have betachim. Okay, now, maybe you have betachim that you're going to get the right one, betachim could kick in, but of course there's a chiv Hishtadlus, and Rabbi Yashiv quotes the Gemara in Kedushin Daf Beis, just like it says a person finds an Aveda, he looks for it, so too you have to find your wife, and Avada is a chiv Hishtadlus. The point that everyone's bringing out is that looking back, it was a waste of time. But Avada is a chiv, there's no shot. Now, it became very gay recently. There was a lot of, last couple of years, Baruch Hashem, Klal Yisrael got very big, and there's a lot of girls on the market, and there's a lot of boys, and a lot of programs and different ideas had to get, to get the ball moving a little. And I've heard from this group of people that there's no chiv, because there's no chiv Hishtadlus, because of the Goyen, so Mela, we hands off. Don't try to get the boys married earlier, which is a huge thing, and whatever programs are done. I've heard this group of people who are saying that if there's no Hishtadlus, I have the Goyen, so everything's a waste. Lamaisa, coming up to B'Av now, so there's the last Mishnah in Tainis, very famous Mishnah. There was no Yom Tovim Klal Yisrael like Yom Kippur and Tu B'Av. Shebehen, the Bnei Yisrael, the girls would go out and they would each borrow clothing. It was a very interesting procedure. They all wore the same thing, and everyone borrowed from someone higher than them. Everyone should be sort of, in the same boat, and they used to go out, and they said each one had their milo. They would say yichus, money, looks, whatever each one had to advertise themselves. So the kolboy, which is a very, very early Achron, right, or even earlier. So he says that it was a very specific. It was sort of like a circumstantial thing that they did. It wasn't that that's the way the girls get married. But he said since the girls that are getting so old, and achet tislav and roisham until the hair gets white. So maybe they instituted that sometimes, I don't know if it was every year or maybe it was just a group of people. The Kolbei doesn't explain, but the Kolbei says that the Mishnah wasn't saying the system of how they dated in the days of the Beis Hamikdash. That was how they dated, was Tu B'Av. They went out to the vineyards and tried to get shidduchim. So the Kolbei is very clear that it was instituted by the Chachamim, that there was a group of girls that couldn't get married, and therefore they made this tuba of having singles get married. Also, when you think about it, when it says that Shevet Binyamin, that they were matter the girls to come back into Klal Yisrael, that they were allowed to marry Shevet Binyamin after the story of Peleg was also there was girls that couldn't find shidduchim, so therefore, and they were scared Shevet Binyamin was going to get wiped out. So you see, they instituted a takana in order to help singles get married. So again, the basic thing is that there is an idea that a lot of our analytics and opinions are really a waste of time. But Avada 100% is a Hishtadlus, just like any mitzvah, and it's even a bigger mitzvah because Peri V'Rivya is the biggest mitzvah out there. And therefore, I would like to just end off that Emet Hashem, this year we should have the Gula Shlema. Thank you.